I'm Jamie and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to be talking about some TV shows and some films that I'm never going to watch, probably never going to watch. I'm not going to say definitely because my opinions might change, and also there's some things here that I probably won't finish as well, like TV shows that I won't finish. So first of all, before I get started, if you do like any of these films or TV shows, doesn't mean my opinion doesn't change your opinion, okay? If you like them, that's great. It's just they're probably not something that I would like, so that's why I've included them in here. So I thought this would be a bit fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I'll just get on with it. So the first show is Riverdale. When this first came out, I was intrigued by it because I like mystery, detective-y, crime things, so I thought it'd be something I'd like. There wasn't really anywhere for me to watch it when it first came out, I don't think. So yeah, my opinion very quickly changed on whether I wanted to watch this or not, because it just seemed so cringy and just not the type of detective mystery show that I like. It just seems to have got worse and worse. Like I do like to watch a lot of like commentary channels that talk about like TV shows and stuff, and all of them have just been like pretty much entirely negative. The plot doesn't seem to make any sense at all, so I will just not be watching it because I just feel like it would annoy me more than it would be entertaining. Second is Pretty Little Liars. This was something that I initially was going to watch. A lot of my friends in school watched it, so yeah, I was quite intrigued by it. However, I was a bit slow to watching it. I was watching a lot of other things at the same time, so I never actually got around to starting it. And I had heard so many spoilers by the time that I was actually thinking of watching it, and I'd actually heard who A was, and at that point I was like, right, I don't care, I'm not going to watch it, tell me what happened. And the ending sounds like one of the worst endings to a TV show I've ever heard of. Like, I'm not going to say what it is, and you know, some people might find it a good ending, but for me it just didn't seem to make any sense. The people who I was talking to that actually genuinely really loved the show were even like very annoyed at the ending. So yeah, I'm not going to go into a show where I know that the ending isn't going to be very good. The next one is a film series, and it is Divergent. Right, I have a complicated relationship with Divergent. So I initially read the books and I quite enjoyed them. I read them all through the thing. I wasn't a massive fan of the ending of the books either. Yeah, they recommended to me by a friend because I really loved like the Hunger Games and the Maze Runner. I'm not sure if I'd read the Maze Runner at that point, but I really liked the Hunger Games, so she recommended them to me. And I read them, I liked them. They're kind of Hunger Game-esque in some sense, like the way that they're divided up into different factions, and I quite enjoyed it. So when I heard that there was going to be a movie series, I was like, great, I'll watch it. And I watched the first one. I watched it at home with my mum and dad, and oh my god, it's so bad. Like, I didn't like the casting choice for pretty much any character. They took out one of my favourite characters in the book. I think his name was Will. I can't really remember. I might be thinking of a different character here, but I'm pretty sure there was a guy called Will in the first one, and I really liked him, and they took him out. It changed so much from the books, and like I'm always going to be a little bit like, I'm going to expect changes because realistically, turning a book into a film, you're not going to get as much content in the film as you are in the book. So I was fine with that. Like, some changes, absolutely fine, but god, I couldn't. Everything annoyed me about it. It just seems to be disastrous. Like, what happened with the third one? Like, I heard it was going to be split into like 2 parts, of course, and I don't think the second part came out, did it? Or it went straight to like TV or DVD or something. So it wasn't just me who thought it was bad. So yeah, I'm never gonna watch them. The next one is another film series, and it's The Kissing Booth. And again, I wasn't that interested in watching it in the first place, and then of course I watched videos on it. I probably should be watching videos on films I haven't seen, but I was intrigued, and it seems way too cringy for me. I can understand if I was a teenager, I probably would still want to watch it. I just don't want to watch it. Like, again, I feel like it would annoy me more than it would entertain me. Next one is 13 Reasons Why, and just a disclaimer, if you don't want to hear about what happens in 13 Reasons Why, I'm sure you know what it is, skip to this part of the video because then I'll stop talking about it. So 13 Reasons Why, I actually watched the first season of it, and I quite enjoyed it, which is quite controversial even because it got a lot of backlash for the scene at the end. I don't know how specific I'm going to go into it, but like, yeah, the scene at the end. But so I kind of enjoyed the first season. It opened up the chance for a lot of conversations with my friends about like, you know, what's going to happen. I remember doing my Duke of Edinburgh award like pretty much like after I'd finished the season, and we just talked about it like a lot of the way through, so that was really nice. We had something in common that we'd all talk about. It's quite, yeah, I liked it. And then I was watching the second season, and they just kind of like, it kind of felt to me, it's like, right, the first one did well, we'll make a second season and just kind of think of things as we go along. And there were things that just didn't make sense at all. It just didn't make sense. And I didn't get to the part with, oh, what's his name? The scene in the bathroom with the guys. I didn't get to that scene, but I watched a clip of it on YouTube, and yes, it felt very unnecessary. And then making the very homophobic and, you know, not just homophobic, but like violently homophobic character gay, I think is just, that is just not acceptable. It plays into a lot of tropes, and yeah, I don't like it. I haven't watched, is there a third season? I haven't watched that. God, there might be a fourth season as well, isn't there? I haven't watched anything past like halfway through the second season. And I'm not going to. I know what happens, like Bryce kind of gets a redemption arc, which is not deserved at all, and I just, yeah, I'm just stepping away from that. The first season was alright, I'm going to leave it as that. And the next one is actually a film series that I was actually really excited about watching when it was first announced, and that is the Fantastic Beasts series. I watched the first one in the cinema and I quite enjoyed it. I like Eddie Redmayne, and I liked the characters, I liked the setting. It was different, you kind of got that Harry Potter vibe but in a different sense, and I quite liked it. It was a bit silly, but it had some really good, I felt like it had a lot of potential. However, then I watched the second one. The second one I felt was like, I was just kind of waiting for something to happen. Like I watched it with my boyfriend, and he didn't like it. He looked so bored through it. So yeah, it wasn't great, and the fact that there's 3 more to come out, I'm not really expecting much. And then there's the whole controversy with J.K. Rowling, and I'm not a fan of her at the moment for obvious reasons, and yeah, I just think it's quite irresponsible having somebody that is actively hating against a vulnerable group of people, you know, earning loads of money from a massive film series that is quite mediocre in the nicest way possible. And then there is the Johnny Depp thing. Warner Brothers have done an absolutely horrible thing. Like, they've basically forced him to resign for being an abuse victim and trying to fight the defamation that the Sun is absolutely horrible, that the Sun has caused him. I've lost respect for that series of movies, which is a shame because, like I said, I do like Eddie Redmayne. I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter. I'm probably not going to watch them. So next is Supernatural, and I actually watched 6 seasons, I want to say maybe 7, and I quite enjoyed the first 5 seasons, which I think is where like the original story ends. Yeah, the first 5 seasons I really enjoyed. I liked the characters, I liked the kind of like, you know, there's one continuous plot and then each episode has its own like monster that they're fighting or demon, whatever. I liked it. And then at the second season and the 7th one, I felt like it was just so like, oh, we've defeated that boss, but oh, here's another one that we haven't heard about before, and some things didn't make sense. I didn't like the fact that, like, you know, the characters are never gonna die. Like, maybe they do right at the end, but like, how many times have like the characters died in it and just, oh no, it's fine because this angel can bring them back to life, or like, oh, we can turn back, I don't know if they turn back time, but like, you know, there's lots of, the characters you don't have that fear of losing the characters because they have come back to life so many different times. And yeah, I lost interest in it. And at this point, like, how many seasons are there now? Like in the 15th season. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. I watched the clip of Destiel and that was just cringy. It, you know, having a character like confess his love to another one and then immediately die afterwards. Yeah, no, not a fan. That kind of just like solidified as like, yeah, no, you're not gonna watch the rest of this, you know, for an ending like that. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch that. So next one is Cats. Yeah, I think it's quite simple. It looks weird. The cast is like, okay, you've got to have James Corden in it. Like, the cast is not a bad cast. There's, you know, you've got loads of really high profile actors in there. But yeah, I just have no interest in it. I mean, there's not really much to say. I don't have any interest in it. I'm not a massive fan of the actual musical, and I do like musicals. I've never really been interested in Cats. I've listened to a few of the songs are good, but yeah, I just have no interest in it, and it's weird. Another TV show that I'm not going to finish is Teen Wolf. I went through a phase when I was probably like 14, 15, where I was just watching loads of like corny teen series like Supernatural, Teen Wolf, and yeah, I did really enjoy it at the start, like I said, but I didn't like Alison, like, at all. I thought it was like, yeah, I just didn't like her as a character. The characters were all like way too old, and it didn't feel like that they were teenagers, which is, it's Teen Wolf. They didn't feel like teenagers. Yeah, I remember I think it was like the first episode of the second season, or like, you know, the start of that, and it's like one of the popular girl, I can't remember her name, made a comment about like the freshmen coming into the school, and obviously they're freshmen in high school, and I googled like what age they are, and they're 14. Like, I'll see if I can find a clip of the characters that she was like referring to, and they were like 25. Like, I just don't like it. I don't like people who are obviously in their 20s playing like 15-year-olds. I think it's just so bad. The next one is another film, and I'm kind of annoyed that I don't want to watch it. It's the live action Mulan film, and I'm a massive fan of the animated one. It is my favourite Disney movie, and when I heard that it was going to be adapted into a live action one, I was really excited. Yeah, like I said, I really like the original. And I know it's not historically correct or culturally correct, but it's entertaining, it's fun, it's got great songs, and it is like an empowering story, and I really, really liked it. And so I was fine with them adapting it to making it more culturally correct. However, they just changed way too many things, and it didn't. I watched the trailer and I've watched some commentary on it, and it just doesn't feel like the Mulan film. And I think the live action Disney movies that they've been making, for the most part, have been quite mediocre, and I just want to keep my, you know, that feeling I get when I listen to the songs of Mulan, and when I watch the films, I want to keep that feeling alive and that nostalgic feeling, rather than watching a mediocre live action Mulan film and that being kind of like what's centre in my mind. So the last TV show I've got is The Walking Dead, which I wanted to watch, and it's loads of people love it, and yeah. So first of all, I'm not a biggest fan of zombie films, like TV shows, but you know, it seemed really good. Like, the way that the plot was moving, from what I've heard, not just from my parents, from like critics as well, is that like their plot is like they just move to one place and they're like, oh, they're fine, and then someone betrays them, or somebody, you know, lies, and it's like, oh no, we have to move again. And yeah, like, I'm not saying I definitely won't watch it. I think this is probably the one that is most likely to maybe flip, and I might watch it, but at the moment I don't have any interest in it, so yeah, I'm probably not going to watch it. And the last one is a bit silly. It's just generally any horror films and any horror TV shows I'm not going to watch. I'm a massive wimp when it comes to horror like films and jump scares in particular. And it is a shame, because like The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor, is that right? They do sound really interesting with like their plots and everything. And there are some horror movies that I see that like they do have really interesting plots. But like, I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to like just be jump scared. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, as I said, if you do watch these shows, that's absolutely fine. If you like them, you like them. They're just ones that I'm not interested in and I don't think I'd like. But yeah, so if you did like this video, then give it a like and comment down below any shows that you're not going to watch, or, you know, try and change my mind about any of these shows. And if you're interested in seeing more kind of like talking about film and TV, specifically TV, then subscribe and I'll have some more videos out soon. Yeah, thank you. Bye.